I've been this Asperger detector's been blowing my mind because, like you said, he does these rappy up things that are like about themes and stuff, and it's been like church or something. It's made me realize I was like, oh man, I'm afraid to ask for things, and I'm like, I gotta ask for stuff more, and I've been analyzing my life. Oh man, it feels good.
There was something that he did a little bit where I got a little inspiration from it too. I wonder if it was the same thing.
Ask for what, Spencer?
Ask for stuff.
Like, for instance?
Like stuff you need. You know how people are like, oh, let me ask for help or ask for stuff? I don't do that. I was thinking about it. It's one of the things that drives my self-hatred.
You know, there's a podcast called, I think, Small Town Dicks. And it's
I'm interested.
My favorite Billy Joel song.
It's a real pro one. It's Yeardley Smith. Is that the Lisa
Smith?
Simpson?
Yeah.
I think it's pronounced Yardley, no?
I don't know.
Yeah. Her friend, and then they have these two detectives, and it's really well done. It's like a higher end true crime podcast, well produced, and but they had an episode where Yardley told these stories about her as a victim, and there were a couple of them, and then there was one for dessert that was like just insane. But it was like the behavior of the person trying to victimize her was insane, but then it was almost the profound thing about it was how insane she felt as a victim, like how she's describing this crazy behavior on the part of this guy that was doing work on her house and who started running all this like crazy shit on her. And it's fun. It's like I feel like I've noticed this. Like if you could picture Yardley Smith as an actor, she wasn't always just the voice of Lisa Simpson. Like she appears in TV shows and stuff, and she was having kind of a heyday in the 90s, and she's a very small, like kind of adorable, sort of like unassuming, like everything about her face kind of transmits this sort of like I don't know, unassuming or something energy, something like it. And it's interesting because I've heard from women before, women, there's certain kinds of like women who are like I have this like kind of thing about me where guys like they smell something on me and they're like coming after me because they're like, it's like I have this like victim target on my head or something. She didn't say anything like that, but I was like, it occurred to me while listening to these stories. I was like, I bet it's not just because she's famous, but it is because like there's certain people that like they just I think like predators are just like, oh
yeah.
I don't know if it's like they if they know it's easy prey, because it's like it's guys like stalking, like falling in love, not just like, oh, she's an easy target. It's more like, oh, I'm in love.
Yeah, I'm just walking with certain people, and then like people just yell at them, like, and it's like I've never experienced this in my life, but it's just like people seek them out and like are comfortable throwing shit at them for whatever reason. I don't know if it's like a predator sense or something.
Yeah, and it was crazy. This actor is telling this story about this just absolute batshit psycho guy that's like doing work on her house, and he's like ramping up the stuff, and she keeps talking about these crazy points where you're listening to the story, and her friend is listening to the story and saying like, okay, so at this point, like, did you think about telling anybody about this like crazy thing that was happening to you? And she always had this reason why, no, not that time or thing. She wasn't being dodgy about it, but it kind of built to this moment where she's been through this and figured this all out by now. This is decades ago, but it was like the reason she came to LA to be an actor as this tiny person that you know isn't necessarily, she didn't look like Farrah Fawcett. She was like, I'm gonna go eat the world because I'm entitled to it because of my stature or my whatever. It's like there's this like the culture of her family and her psychology in her head was like, I got to own my ambition and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do this thing. And that it's like a very healthy thing. Like, oh, own your dreams and visualize your success and all that stuff. And that, but it comes with this other thing that she's getting victimized by these like crazy stalker guys and she's not telling anybody. Like, and it's like so far beyond points like red flags where, you know, she, like anyone else might have gotten killed. You just don't know. And then she got choked up toward the end because she finally got to a point with this guy where this guy came over to her house that was doing work on her. He explained to her that he had just killed 2 people for her because they had been following her, and he was like laying this whole thing on her, and I need $25,000. It was just this crazy, like weird psycho shakedown. And then she just kept letting it go. She still didn't go to anybody. And then she describes the moment where she just runs out of her house and she goes and calls this guy that worked at the studio, the Fox lot probably, for help. And she starts like breaking while she's telling the story, because that's the thing that got to her, was that she finally had to explain to this guy, like, this is what's been going on. And I like, and you could hear in her voice, it's like, oh, this is the moment of my weakness where I have to tell somebody that I let this get this far and that I finally need help with it or something. And it was just such an interesting that other side of confidence and ambition and autonomy. Like you might be, without knowing it, like pathologically incapable of telling somebody you need help. And I thought, I wondered if I was like, geez, I wonder if I'm that way. No. If something goes wrong in my life, I fucking smear it all over everyone.
I find that I can ask people for things in a workplace context, but outside of that, I have a very rough time like burdening my friends with a request, or like I always feel like it's burden, but it's just like, hey, you want to get a sandwich? It's like not, it's not trying to take anything, but it feels weird to me. But it might be a similar thing. Who knows?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, there was nothing. I couldn't believe that story. I was really taken by it. She was like this. She seems like such a remarkable character. Like she's like, I really like that podcast because they're very like kind of dug down into their little true crime stories, and it feels less ghoulish because they're talking to detectives. So it's the detectives walking them through little cases that they have. A lot of victim blaming, a lot of parent blaming. Like there was like there was this like sex crime thing. What the fuck was it? It was like, I just remember one of the detectives explaining. This put me off having kids forever. I'm not doing it anymore. I haven't told Cody I made the permanent decision, but he was like, look, your kid's got an iPhone. You need to go through that thing, or whatever they're up to, it's on you. I was like, I'm not going through my kid's phone if they're like, and you can't keep your kid from having a phone. They're like you're like, until the kid's 18 and they're living with you, it's your responsibility as a parent, modern parenting. You got to go through their phone and make sure that they're, you got to check up on them. There's a whole thing happening. Like all these stories about kids that end up doing all this fucked up shit or falling into these fucked up worlds. Like it's all on their phone, and that's the same thing as their bedroom. In the 60s, and like you gotta, it's not their diary. It's like, you got to go through. I'm listening to this advice. I'm like, if that's true, and I guess maybe it technically is, like, because God knows no one else is going to raise your kid for you. But then I'm like, okay, so I'm not having a kid for sure. But I could go through a 12-year-old's shit, or be the only dad that doesn't let a 12-year-old have whatever the fuck everyone else has, Do
you think the ship has sailed for you in terms of children, like for good?
I don't know. These tadpoles are still dancing. As in Ted.
Dude, I learned that the hard way.
I mean, Cody, it's all up to Cody. Like, I mean, it's not up. I mean, it's like it's driven by her. She's in her prime. She's in her creative prime. She's in her biological prime. I'll probably do whatever she wants. That's not true. I mean, if I was seized with like, no, I definitely don't want kids, and then she was like, it's time. I might be like, I don't know. I have to gaslight her somehow. Is there a book on how to gaslight? No, I don't know. We're really up in the air. We've just been having.
Is that an imperative for her or no?
She's not. We're not. Yeah, she's not. We don't. We're undecided, and like she had a little period where she was like, should I freeze my eggs? She talked to the therapist about it, and the therapist was like, look, if freezing your eggs is like a ritual you need to engage in that lets you own your life, then by all means freeze your eggs. But if you can skip the egg freezing and just do just stop identifying yourself by, it's like that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. This shouldn't be running your life. That's crazy. The therapist probably didn't say that's crazy. But and then Cody was like, okay, I'm going to freeze my eggs. I told this story. And then she like looked at the information. She's like, step 1, don't get high for 6 months. And she's like, nope. Like, oh, well, you were good. Okay. Well, eventually you're going to. Okay.
Deal breaker.
Yeah. But I don't know. We ran into a friend, and she's in her 40s, and she has a podcast about trying to do inseminate herself. There's a couple of those podcasts out there now. People that are going through the process of trying to conceive and sharing the details of it and stuff.
Is that Molly Hockey's podcast?
Yeah. How do you know?
Well, she does a podcast.
Oh, okay.
Right?
That's so weird it's like
she's advertised it on other podcasts that I've listened to.
Oh, okay. It must be. Is it popular? Well, how do I know?
I don't think it's super. I mean, I don't know.
Spencer,
yeah,
do you have desire, Spencer, to be a father or no?
Oh, I got all sorts of desires.
To be a father?
I don't know. I could see that. I don't know. I don't want to force it. I don't think that I want one like a lot, but I feel like I could do that, The ultimate reason to be a father. To prove something to the world.
Yeah, I think the ship has sailed for me. I could still do it, obviously, but I like my father had me when I was 41. I'm 45. And I never had any memories of my dad who didn't have gray hair. Like he was always a salt and pepper gray-haired guy, and he taught soccer and baseball and how to ride a horse and how to dig a hole and do a thing. And like he was like there's like a super dad. And it's like I just don't know if I've got I do improv.
Yeah. I feel like I'm getting such joy out of withdrawing from the world, and in 13 years, if I had a kid tomorrow, that's only 13 years I have before I have another like fucking goober. Like that I'm trying to cut loose, it's like, oh great, another fucking like kid that I have to raise. I feel like I have to raise 300,000 of them every time I post on Instagram. I just want to experience for one moment before I get diagnosed with something like peace. Like I did it, I beat you. Guess what? I didn't like any of you either. Fooled ya. I like just 1 hour of that before I'm like in charge of whether or not people feel good or bad about themselves. I hate people.